Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a sensational evening. I'm joined by my colleague Alex Mures on Real Talk Weekly. We're going to be unraveling all the hesitant buyers in the market. What are you guys waiting for? Stay tuned.
Good evening, Harry.
How are you?
How was your Monday?
Busy, as always.
It was a busy Monday. Definitely was a busy Monday.
A lot of appointments, a lot of calls. Monday's the busiest day in real estate. One of them.
It is.
Actually, it's the most important day in real estate because you've got to plan the rest of your week.
Sets up for the week.
Catch
up from the weekend.
That's it.
Good. What are we talking about, Harry?
We've got a cracking topic tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's for all the hesitant buyers in the market that are being, I don't want to use the word brainwashed, but I want to use the word
misguided
by the media, by the headlines. And we just want to unpack as to what all the buyers are waiting for. It's a buyer's market. You've waited for a buyer's market since we had 14 rate hikes during COVID. Then prices spiked up, and now the market has softened. Prices have come down and stabilized a little bit. It is literally the perfect market to buy a property, especially on the Northern Beaches.
It is. And look, just if you're looking at it on a basis of the last 6 months, I mean, it's the first day of winter, 1st of June, pretty well halfway through the year now, which is absurd, honestly, going so fast. But just looking at it from the start of the year and the end of last year, it was definitely a vendor's and an owner's market. You could list the property, you'll have 20 groups that are first open and it'd sell within a week or two if the price was right, in the right bracket. Now we're starting to see a little bit of a shift. Speaking to a lot of agents around the area, seeing a bit of you could nearly say it's about a 10% discount from what you were paying
That's what I'm
at
saying,
the start of the year.
It really is.
And that just means it's a buyer's market. There's still the stock on the Northern Beaches at the moment. Realestate.com had 934 properties listed this morning, which hasn't really changed
since.
It's
come down a bit. It was actually it was ticking over 1,000 at one point a couple of weeks back. It's actually come down a bit.
It has. And what does that mean for buyers? Buyer's market. What is a buyer's market? Buyer's market means that there's more negotiating and vendors are getting a little bit desperate. It's a little bit more eager to sell. Obviously, with all the interest rate rises and everything, it's not just the purchasers that are feeling that impact. It's the vendors as well.
Yeah.
They need to sell if they have an investment. They can't afford to have it anymore. You can reap the benefits from it. And
the biggest thing, obviously doing prospecting every single day, the biggest I guess deal breaker for buyers is that interest rates are high. And I think buyers need to start looking at it from another perspective. It's that, yes, you pay maybe 1, 2, maybe 3% on top of what interest rates were, a couple of years ago coming out of COVID when, the cost of borrowing was, next to nothing, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So I guess buyers are sort of hesitant behind the cost of borrowing with the interest rates, but none of the buyers value or take into consideration the fact that they're purchasing a property that's on average 5 to 10% below what property prices were being valued and transacting at about 6 to 12 months ago. And I think that is critical if you're looking at the grand scheme of things, because I would argue majority of people that purchase a property in the market are holding on to that property in the long run. And I just think a lot of buyers are they're not taking that into consideration. They're looking at the short run. They're looking at, interest rates, it's going to hurt my bank account. It is, but it's only going to hurt in the short run. When you look at the long run and you're buying a property, let's say the average transacting price for a 2-bedroom in DY was 1.3 million a couple years ago. Well, we're seeing it around 1.1, 1.2. So if you're
Even
looking
less.
at that, maybe even less, to be
Even
honest,
less.
even less. I'm seeing
Yeah.
it. I'm getting
For-
offers for 2 bedrooms around that million, 1.1 mark. But I guess the big thing is, you take into consideration that $150,000 difference compared to what prices were 6 to 12 months prior, and then you need to factor that into your decision when it comes to buying your next property. I think it's critical. It's a critical way to think like that.
Definitely. And look, just having a quick skim over some of the stock that's currently on the market and some of the stock that's transacted over the past few weeks, I did tend to see a lot of 2 bedrooms in DY go for under $1 million.
Yeah.
In the mid to high 900s, where you just weren't seeing that. 6 to 12 months ago, you just weren't seeing that at all.
You were, but you couldn't buy anything good. It either was too small or it had bad strata. Now you can actually buy something decent.
You can. So, I mean, the real question is, what are you waiting for? We're not sure. Is it a good time to buy? Yes. And on the flip side, is it a good time to sell? Yes.
And I think another thing, ladies and gentlemen, in particular, if you're looking to buy, listen to your agents. Look, I know agents have a bad stereotype, and when you hear a real estate agent, they're lying, they're, arrogant, and they've got all these stereotypes. But at the end of the day, agents are exposed to the market on a daily basis, and they witness buyers coming through open inspections in real time. The numbers of buyers and people coming through my opens is consistent, and on average, I'm seeing around, on average 3 to 7 groups coming through my open inspections. I think that was the average. Around 5 or 6 groups was the average through my Saturday and Sunday opens. And the reason why I say that is because, every day people are watching the news, they're watching the media, and they're looking at, prices going down. You see the headlines, property prices going down 25, 30, sometimes 40%, which is just ridiculous. And if you're looking at buying on the Northern Beaches, it just simply isn't the case.
No.
Northern Beaches is its own micro market. It will always be its own micro market because of the limited stock we have on the beaches. Prices will always be stable in comparison to the rest of Sydney. So buyers, listen to your agent, find a good, trustworthy agent, stay close to them, and listen to their advice, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are exposed to the market, and they look at the stats, they look at the numbers, and that they see the big picture.
Yeah, and I'd just like to add as well, a lot of this talk has been on the buyer side of things, which is very important, but probably have a few vendors watching right now, and probably some nervous vendors and people who are thinking about selling and they're not sure because, you might be selling at a little bit of a lower point of the market, but the upside of that is you're also buying into the lower side of the market. So you may take a hit of 50 to 100 grand less than kind of what you're looking for, but you're also buying at that point as well. And the growth and the trends that have happened on the Northern Beaches over the past 5 to 10 years is on average about a 10% growth. So if you're buying at a cheaper point in the market, the trend is that it'll go back up. When that'll happen, we don't know. Anyone who tries to tell you when that'll happen, they're lying.
History will tell you the story.
Yeah. We can just go off predictions and what we see on a day-to-day basis. You'd have to take the market as it comes each day, and it could change today. It could be flat, and tomorrow it could boost. You just don't know. But that's the joys of dealing with real estate and the risk everyone takes on. But do you have anything else to add in there?
I think that wraps it up. Put your foot down, buyers. This is the market for you. Don't wait for prices to keep going down. That's what the buyers did during COVID. Guess what happened after COVID? After 14, I think it was 10 or 12, I think, consecutive rate hikes, 14 in total. Prices just went through the roof.
Could happen again.
And it could happen again. So buyers, put your foot down. If you see something that, even if you're not 50-50, just buy it. That's honestly the best advice I could give you. Buy it and you won't regret it.
Perfect.
I think that wraps it up.
Thanks so much for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a splendid evening. Love ya. See ya. Bye.